So until the school receives toner, you're taking notes the old-fashioned way. So sorry, I wish it were different. Just do your best to keep up. We will be continuing our operations with monomials. Today, we're going to take a power of a power. So an exponent of an exponent. That uses the power rule, which you will learn. And then also you still need to know the other rules that you've already learned. So like the multiplying monomials and adding and subtracting. I'm recording right now. It'll be in the slides. The practice you will work on tomorrow, and I expect it to be done because tomorrow you will have, hold on one second. So as I was saying, tomorrow you will have the entire class period to do the practice. So I expect it to be done. A sub will be here, but either way, I still expect it to be done. If it's not done, then I will make it an assessment, essentially. So choose what you want. Either work with your table groups and make sure it gets done and that you upload it to the link in Schoology. It's how you'll turn it in. Or it'll just become a test grade. And either you do it and you get full points, assuming it's right, or you don't do it and it just stays 0. I already had to do that for like my 6th hour because they got like a horrible review from the sub. So if that happens in here, because I know how you guys get sometimes, you think you can like do whatever you want. Like I get it, there's a sub, like I'm not here to physically stop you, but you're still responsible for it. So if your practice is not turned in, I'm going to make it an assessment for you, and it'll be based on accuracy. So either just do the work while you're here, do it at home if you really want to just goof off in here. But by the time I check it on Monday, it better be turned. So yeah, I'll leave the sub with some paper that looks like this. That has like 20 spaces for you to do your work, because obviously like I don't have other paper for you. I can't print the practice on paper. So you'll have to access it in Schoology. So I will leave a note to the sub saying like no matter what they say, it is in Schoology. Here it is, Math Lab, in this week's folder. This is the practice you'll be doing, powers of monomials. Once you click on it, you'll see like some instructions on how to submit it. Scroll down. That is your worksheet. You hit view. And then these are the problems that you're doing. All right, 25 total, or 26 actually. In an hour, you should be able to get them done, especially because some of them are really, really easy, which you'll see in the lesson. But again, I'll leave a paper for you to do it on. And have it worked out. You'll just have to probably put like the last 6 on a separate paper. When you upload stuff, you take pictures and you upload it to the assignment link in Schoology. So any questions? All right, so then back to the lesson. All right, so you're gonna have to take notes the old-fashioned way. Hopefully you already have the title, Powers of Monomials. To use this, or to be able to raise a monomial to a power, you use the power rule, which says that if I have x to the a raised to the b power, I multiply those exponents together. All right, so if you have a power raised to another power, you multiply the exponents together. Why, you might ask? Well, let's look at number 1. X squared, that exponent tells me to do what with the x? Multiply what? No, just listen to the question I'm asking. X squared tells me to do what? any exponent tells me to do what? Multiply the base by itself that many times. So x squared is x times x. And then if I had x to the 5th power, what is that? Yes, ordinarily. So hold on, I think I'm actually gonna like do it that way. Okay, so backtrack was forget what I just said. I mean, it is raised to the 5th power, but according to the power rule, the answer is not going to be adding them together like we did in the product rule, right? So then if we multiply these together with 2 times 5, x to the 10th power. So essentially I'm raising this to the 5th power, and what I end up having is x times x 5 times. Okay. And when you add those all up, how many x's do you have? 10. So that's why my answer becomes x times 10. When you have multiple stuff inside the parentheses, whatever you're raising it to, so like this to the power of 4 applies to everything inside, make sure that you multiply it to all the exponents. So like m to the 7 times 4, which will simplify. And then it's n to the 4 times 4. What is 7 times 4? What is 4 times 4? So then this becomes my new simplified answer. Questions on that? All right, and then what is the exponent if it's not written? 1. So then when you have multiple things inside the parentheses, don't forget that rule, because it wouldn't be, 3 times 0 and it becomes 0. It's 3 times 1. So it becomes c to what power? 3. And then it'll be d to what power? 6. All right, questions on that? So like when you do your practice tomorrow, you'll see the first few problems are pretty easy, like how it is in your notes. And then as you work down the page, they do get a little more difficult. So then examples with coefficients. What are coefficients? Someone on the left side of the room tell me. On either side. Table 5, what are coefficients? Let's see that. Yeah. Give me an example. Something that is a coefficient. So like in this one down here? Yeah. So like in that example, 5 would be the coefficient. What's the coefficient in number 5? 2. So the coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So everyone write that down because that's a while to figure out. Coefficients are the number in front of the variable. So if you have coefficients in your problem, you treat those normally, always. So if the problem is that you're multiplying monomials, then you multiply the coefficients. If you're adding and subtracting monomials, you add or subtract the coefficients. Well, in this one, if we're raising stuff to a certain power, you put it on the coefficient like normal, so it would be 5 squared, which is what, by the way? What's 5 squared? Good. Feel free to throw that in the calculator if you don't know. But then on the variables with exponents, you use that power rule. So what am I going to do with these exponents? The 7 and the 2? Multiply them. Which, what is 7 times 2? 14. All right, so then that becomes my answer. So here's like the scratch work. So normally I don't accept your homework without like work shown. I get it, like some problems you don't need to show work, but like this is like an example of scratch work. The final answer would be for like box. That would be fully simple. All right, any questions? Now, if you have, if you have coefficients that are negative, highly recommend just use the calculator. All right, so like in example 6, I have -2 raised to, and actually anytime you put that in the calculator, we can put it in percent. So -2 raised to the 2nd power. You might be able to do that one in your head, but I say just use the calculator. And that you get 4. All right, but look what happens if it were like raised to the 3rd power. You can still get a negative, it just depends on how many negative sides there would be if I like expanded this. So just my recommendation for use the calculator for those. I'm gonna give you a few to try, or actually let's finish this one. So -2 squared is 4. P will be to what exponent? No, we're not adding them. This one. 8, we multiply them. When it's a power raised to the power, we multiply it. And then Q will be to what power? 12. All right, questions? Okay, I'm gonna give you a few to try. The ones that we didn't do in this little area, try them. Luckily, the notes that we're taking in here aren't very wordy like they are in algebra. But again, you just have to know what's going on. So like the little bit of scratch work I try to show, I recommend you show so that you know how we got those numbers. All right, so number 5. Distribute that power of 5 to every single thing in the parentheses. So I have 2 to the 5th. X to the, what do we do with the exponents according to the rule? So x to the 2 times 5 it will be, and y to the, what's the exponent on the y currently? And then again times 5. All right, now simplify. Personally, I don't know what 2 to the 5th power is off the top of my head. What is it? 32 is correct. Again, use a calculator. Don't wait for me to just put in the calculator for you. That is a skill that you are testing on. So this becomes 32. X, what will be the power on the X? And what will be the power on the Y? Good. All right, I'm going to try and rotate between people. I'm going to call in everyone at some point. So Mia, what is -4 to the 4th power? Yes. It is actually 252. All right. So don't try to do these in your head. And also the base for these, put them in parentheses because otherwise the calculator can read it wrong. Look. When I don't put parentheses, it says it's a -256. But when I do -4 times -4 times -4 times -4, should it be negative? No, when I have an even number of negative signs being multiplied together, it should be positive. So that's why I'm telling you, put the parentheses in there. Okay, so 256 should be the coefficient now for number 7. What will be the new exponent on the C, Yamal? What will be the new exponent on the C in this one? That's what it is now. When you raise it to the 4th power, it'll be. Dylan, what will be the exponent on the D? Good. Alright. Cohen, what will be -3 to the 3rd power? Sorry if I. But question is -3 to the 3rd power. What is it? Okay, I'll come back to you. Kaylin, tell me what the exponent will be on the X for number 8. 6, not 5, 6. You multiply them, not add them. Cohen, do you have this one business? 27, positive or negative? All right, I think it should be negative, but let me just double check. Yeah, it should be negative, because that would be -3 times -3 times -3. And I have an odd number of negative signs. You multiply together, and the answer is negative. So make that a negative. All right, the fraction, the one everyone avoids, even though you just have to put in your calculator. Desire, do you have it? Aiden, do you have it? Or can you type it in your calculator? So 1/2 to the 3rd power. For 0.125? Okay, good. So that's my new coefficient. It may want the fraction instead. So either one I think works. This is a decimal that ends, or if it wants the fraction, click on the fraction button and you see that it's 1/8. All right, so 1/8 or the decimal, since it ends is fine. When you take a power of a fraction, you're supposed to put it on the numerator and denominator. So then 1 cubed is 1 and 2 cubed is 8. That's how you do it by hand. Otherwise, just use the calculator. Elise, what will be the new exponent on the A? Yes, good. Desire, what will be the exponent on the B? Good. Aubrey, what will be the exponent on the C? Good. Questions on number 9? All right, so that's just with the power rule. In real life, or probably what you'll see more likely on a test, is where it's like mixed. So like you see, we have stuff raised to a power and then they're being timed together. All right, so now you have to remember the other rules we learned. Questions so far? Okay, so order of operations, what comes first? And then, so that's in the same step. Actually, you go from left to right, multiplying or dividing from left to right, and then what after that? Addition and subtraction. Also in the same step, it just depends what comes first and we read it from left to right. So parentheses, I do have parentheses right here and stuff going on to the parentheses. I have that all raised to the power of 3, so I have to work that out first. So then distribute that power of 3. What will be my new exponent on the x? PR. Well, when I have a power to a power, I use this rule. And so we multiply them together. So what will it be? No, 3 times 2. You got this, or you can have it. No. All right, then what will be the new exponent on the y? Yeah. 9. All right, so that's the first step. We did parentheses. Bring down what we have left. The only operation we have now to do is multiply. Do you guys remember the rule when we multiply monomials? Remember what it's called? All right, then write down this rule. Product rule. It says if I have the same bases being multiplied together, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but we talked about this in algebra. But if you have the same bases being multiplied together, we add the exponents. So in this one, I have x to the 9th and x to the 1st. When it's not written, what will be the new exponent on the x? Allison. Okay, so let me break it down again. So here's one of the rules we learned, product rule. Today we learned the power rule, which is if I have a power raised to another power, what do I do with those exponents? Multiply them. Another rule we learned was adding and subtracting monomials. That rule is just combine like that. So these are all the rules we learned how to do. Which one you do depends on what's going on in the problem. Right now I have these two monomials being multiplied. So which rule will I use? Good. So then add the exponents on the x's. 9 plus the 1 that's there. That's not written. Will be what? Okay. You're real? Sorry. You're out. What will be the new exponent on the left? So what will be the new exponent on the y? After multiplying these bases, what will be the new exponent? Because according to the rule, we add the exponent. What's the exponent if it's not written, class? Okay, so 9 plus 1 is 10. So then for the y, it is 17. It is easy. You learn the rule. So what will be the new exponent on the y? the y class. Add the exponent in your questions, comments, concerns. All right. I feel like I'm losing you, so pay attention. Tomorrow you're on your own. And I don't want you using like algebra problem solvers because that doesn't help you. Can't use those on the test. So 11, let's look at that one. We have multiplying going on and raising to a power. So what do I do first? Raising to the power, yes, we do that first. Because exponents come before multiplying, dividing, right? So we're going to do this chunk first. What rule do we use for that chunk? The power rule. So then I can't remember if I called on you, so I'll just call on you again. What's the number in front of the A right here? It is a coefficient. What is it if it's not written? So I have a -1 to the 4th power. Alexis, what would that be? Feel free to use a calculator. It is not. Remember, guys, exponents tell you to times it by itself that many times. So I'm doing -1 by itself 4 times. Question or answer? Oh, okay. What is it? It is 1. Again, I don't mind you guys using a calculator. Please, for the love of the calculator. It is 1. So +1 in front of the A. You really don't have to write it, but I'm just gonna write it anyway. What's going to be the new exponent on this A, the one we highlighted? Anemone. Don't look at the notes online. Understand it. So what will be the new exponent on the A? I want to do one. Guys, this is getting painful. Do we not understand, or do we just like not paying attention, or what is it? Because I find this like really easy. Probably one of like the easier stuff we ever go over. So what do I do when I have a power raised to another power? So what is 2 times 4? Then what will be the new exponent on the B? 4, because what's the exponent on the B currently? What's 1 times 4? All right, and then bring down the other thing that we haven't even tackled yet, the A cubed. All right, now, so we did the exponents. We're on multiplication and division. Do I have multiplication in this problem? Yeah. So then we need to multiply. So I have A cubed. Are there A's in this other term? So what do I do with the exponents on the A? Good. And that one we add them. Because if we're multiplying the bases, we add the exponents. That's the rule. 3 plus 8 is 11. And then there's no B in this one. Does the B just magically go away? So then put it in your answer. That is it. Question? All right, I'm gonna give you a few tries. Please, for the love of heaven. Number 12, you try. And number 13. Ashley. What do we do first? Do we multiply these together first, or do we take the power to a power first? Exponent or multiply? Exponent. According to order of operations, we tackle the exponent first. And this one, we have to do it twice because I have it here in the first set of parentheses and in the second set. So multiple times. -2 squared, Aiden Moffett is what? -2 squared. Feel free to use a calculator. I'll come back to you. Jaylene, what will be the new exponent on this A? Okay, 4. Well, that's what's on it right now. And then when I raise it to the power of 2, it will be 2. Good. Jessica, what will be the new exponent on the B? 4. And then Aiden Moffett with -2 squared. 4, good. All right, next chunk, next set of parentheses. Distribute that to what's going to be my new coefficient, Jessica? Sorry, I don't know if I called on you already, so I'll just call on you again. With 3 squared. Not good. 3 squared. It is 9. Come on, guys, I'm letting you do this something. Don't understand. 3 squared is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. You're telling it to multiply its the base by itself that many times. What's going to be my new exponent on the A? Ashley W. 4, good. What's going to be my new exponent on the B, Jackson? No. What's on the B currently? If it's not written. No, not 0, 1. So then, according to this rule, we multiply it with 1 times 2. Good. All right, are we finished? Is this fully simplified? No, I have to multiply them together. So which one does it look like the bases are being multiplied together? What rule? Product rule. So knowing what rule to do is also a skill. So then, Isabella, we treat the coefficients like normal. So what's 4 times 9? I'll come back to it. On the variables, you apply the product rule, add the exponents of the variables together. Sam, what would be the new exponent on the A? Sorry, I know. What will be the new exponent on the A? And what's off it? So look at the rule. They're being multiplied together. So the rule says we do what with the exponents? So 2 plus 4 is 6. Isabella, you have my coefficient? No, 37. All right, 9 times 4 is 37. And then B, new exponent on the B, and then we. No, we add them together. It's 4 plus 2, which is. Question, comment, concern. All right. Those we'll add to the line. All right, 13. That one has multiplying and exponents in the problem. What do we do first? The exponents. So look at this chunk first and simplify that before you continue. For time's sake, I'll just have you all answer. So 1/3 squared. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I guess I could do it in my head now that I told you it's to the numerator and to the denominator. But please use the calculator. That's perfectly fine to use. Using like Mathway or Photo Math is not fine to use. So 1/3 in parentheses, raise it to the power of 2, gives me a decimal. How do I make that a fraction? A little button right there. 1/9. All right, so 1/9 is my new coefficient in 13. What do I do with the variables? Multiply the exponent. What's going to be my new exponent on the A? What's going to be my new exponent on the B? What's going to be my new exponent on the C? Because if it's not written, the exponent is 1 times 2 is. Okay. Bring down the other chunk that we have. Oh, I guess there is exponents over here too. Yeah. Make sure you give it to everything in the parentheses. What's 6 cubed? Six times 6 times 6 again. So 216. And then what's going to be my new exponent on the A? What's going to be my new exponent on the B? All right, is this fully simplified? No, so keep going. This time, what rule do we use? The product rule, and you really only use it on the variables. The other stuff, like the 216 times the 1/9, is still 216 times 1/9. All right, so then over here, 216 times 1/9 is 24. All right. Do not have to struggle with fractions because you all have access to it. The new coefficient is 24. What's going to be my new exponent on the A? 8, because 6 plus 2 is 8. What's going to be my new exponent on the B? 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. And my exponent on the C? 2. So there's no other 2 to multiply by, so it just stays the same. Good, any questions? All right, we haven't done one with adding or subtracting yet, but you will see some like that tomorrow. So same premise. If I have exponents, multiplying and adding, what do I do first? No. Exponents, actually. Yes, these are in parentheses, but I don't know how to get you guys out of that habit. Parentheses means like simplify what's inside. Inside is already simplified. So this is for exponents, this over here is for multiplying. All right, so 2 cubed is what? Is not what? Oh, yeah. 8, because it's 2 times 2 times 2. It's 8. Dylan, what will be the new exponent on the A? We'll keep up. What do I do when it says power raised to another power? Multiply them with 2 times 3. All right, then bring down all the other stuff. Now what comes first, adding or multiplying? So then just look at the part that's being multiplied together. What's the coefficient if it's not written? 1 times 3 is, okay, so 3 is my coefficient down here. What will be the new exponent on the A? Yeah. We're multiplying them together. What do I do with the exponent? Yeah. I know it seems weird. It's like the opposite of what it looks like. But like, that's why we write down the rules. So yes, it's 6. You add them. Lastly, in order to add or subtract terms together, they need to be what? Same variable to the same exponent. The coefficients are different. So are these like terms? Yes, they both have 8 to the 6th power. So combine the coefficients with 8 plus 3. And then when you do adding like terms, you leave the variable part alone. Any questions? Okay. I'm gonna look up a Kahoot real quick to see if we can figure it out now. That it's more like interesting. But those are a few examples so that you know how to do your practice tomorrow. If you can get at least 20 problems done on the practice without cheating, I will be very impressed. Cheating is not by using a calculator. Like you can use a calculator, that's not cheating. What I mean, what's cheating is like using PhotoMath or Mathway or copying off someone. All right, questions? Okay.